November of 2019, we got the 100 Acre Wood trailer showing us that Winnie the Pooh and Friends would be returning for the highly anticipated third numbered title for the Kingdom Hearts series. Naturally, around this time, a lot of different gaming journalists and outlets ended up reporting on this news. There was, however, one specific gaming outlet that ended up reporting on this, known as A9VG, a Chinese gaming news outlet. This outlet most certainly drew some attention though, as with all of the images talking about the new 100 Acre Wood reveal for KH3, every single picture of Winnie the Pooh was censored, with Pooh's legs just standing there, with a white blur covering most of Pooh's body. There is a reason for this though. In 2017, the Chinese government officially began to start censoring images of Winnie the Pooh. More specifically, Disney's version of Winnie the Pooh. This is all because an internet meme started to go viral beginning back in 2013, where the internet would consistently compare members of the Chinese government, especially Xi Jinping, to that of Pooh Bear. As I said, a lot of the other members were also compared to the other various Winnie the Pooh characters, but it was mainly to do with Xi Jinping, who is the general secretary of the Chinese government, that was consistently compared to Pooh Bear. The meme's origin pretty much started here from this image of the Chinese leader with Barack Obama compared to this picture here of Pooh Bear and Tigger. Trying my absolute best not to disrespect here, but like, it's uncanny how close they both look. I mean, can you really blame people for latching on to this? So anyway, you can imagine the Kingdom Hearts community at the time found this insanely hilarious, myself included. I even remember reporting on this news back when it was happening. One thing that I've always really been intrigued about is to know whether or not the Chinese version, because yes, in fact, there is actually a Chinese version of Kingdom Hearts 3, whether or not Pooh Bear in the game ended up actually getting censored like this. Now, I think most of us can pretty much assume what this answer is, but I've never been able to actually find a definitive answer anywhere on the internet with any footage of that Chinese version. This completely ridiculous curiosity has never left me, so recently I decided to create a Taiwanese PlayStation Network account. Basically, if you make a Taiwanese account, you can then purchase Chinese games as they share the exact same store. Same also goes for Korea as well. On the Taiwanese PlayStation Store, you can then access the Kingdom Hearts 3 Chinese and Korean version. Now, the process that I had to go through was a little bit annoying because in order to actually buy games off of other countries' stores, you have to buy a PlayStation Network voucher that corresponds to that country's store. So for this case, I ended up having to buy a voucher, which is 1,000 new Taiwanese dollars, because right now, Kingdom Hearts 3, the Chinese version, is 600 NTD at the moment, so I couldn't buy the 500 NTD voucher, I had to buy the 1,000 NTD voucher. This meant that I ended up having to spend like 60 New Zealand dollars in order to buy Kingdom Hearts 3 just to confirm my curiosity and suspicions of whether or not Winnie the Pooh is censored in the game. This is quite potentially the biggest waste of money I've ever contributed towards. And if I'm looking at it right now, it probably would have been cheaper to just go over to eBay and buy a physical copy of this exact version, because there's actually a few of the listings that are cheaper than doing it the way that I did it. I was just impatient. I couldn't get the idea out of my head. So I buy the game, I boot it up, and voila, here we go. Here is the Chinese version of Kingdom Hearts 3, as you guys can see. I then make my way to the 100 Acre Wood world, and oh my god, it's real. They censored Winnie the Pooh in the Chinese version with Bowser. What the fuck, dude? This is this is insane, not crazy, like just clinically insane. How they got Nintendo to approve this in order to actually use Bowser's model here to swap out Winnie the Pooh, I have no idea. Why they decided to go with Bowser as well, no idea. Kind of a cool decision made on behalf of the development team, though, for the Chinese version, I do have to say. But it is real. Bowser is used as the censorship for Winnie the Pooh in this version of the game. Absolutely insane, dude.
Ah, but you've been fooled, see?
Yeah, no, Winnie the Pooh is not censored in the Chinese version of the game. Are you surprised? Yeah, probably not. Now, it should be known that in China, there is censorship towards Winnie the Pooh in some circumstances, and yeah, the Chinese government aren't really too keen with that whole Winnie the Pooh meme comparison thing at all. Winnie the Pooh as a whole is not banned in the country. People can still involve themselves with Winnie the Pooh stuff, buy merchandise, buy media related to the bear. There is no such law stating that Winnie the Pooh stuff cannot be sold or shown in China. It's just simple censorship for some situations. So looking back to that original Chinese article, obviously A9VG ended up censoring these images themselves. They are a well-known video game outlet over in China, and probably the reason why they did this was because they didn't want to get in trouble with any side of the government or piss anybody off. I think if you are a well-known media outlet of any sorts over in China, then you probably want to do your absolute best to stay on the good side of the Chinese government, ensuring that you don't get in trouble. It is a damn shame, dude, because I was actually going to, shit several granite bricks if I were to walk into the 100 Acre Wood world in that Chinese version, and Pooh is literally just a white poof of cloud. Can you absolutely imagine how ridiculously awesome that would be? So yeah, I literally wasted $60 just to get what is basically the same version of the game, but at least now that lingering curiosity is no longer within my thick skull. Now you might be wondering, is there any differences in the Chinese version of the game? To answer that, no there is not. This is basically the Japanese version of the game. All of the voice acting throughout the game is in Japanese.
ここでゼアノートがアクアがテラを助けて闇に落ちた世界もレイディアントガーデンですよね。アクアの話だとそう言ってた。
もう諦めろって。何度やったってヘラクレスにはかなわないよ。
冥界でおとなしくしててね。
Just like for how some of the heads-up display, the names of some of the forms and stuff are a little bit different. So for instance, instead of Hyper Hammer, it's now Booster Hammer. Instead of Shot Lock, it is Shoot Lock. Or instead of double arrow guns, it is 2-gun arrows. Again though, this is in the Japanese version, so this is not something that's exclusive to the Chinese version. The only difference here is that all of the writing and subtitling and everything that you see on the heads-up display is now in Chinese. So for anybody else that was wondering about this mystery, it has been solved. No, there is no censorship towards Winnie the Pooh in the Chinese version. That was just simply put there by A9VG in order to not get in trouble. It was a hilarious gag though during the time, because I think a lot of people didn't actually know about the Winnie the Pooh censorship over in China, and it was actually through Kingdom Hearts 3 that they found out, wow, okay, this is a thing. The Chinese government really doesn't like this little honey bear. So we can put this myth to rest. However guys, be sure to follow me on my other social media platforms. Links as always are in the description down below. Also be sure to subscribe. Again, not everyone that's viewing the videos are subscribed, which is insanity, so be sure to hit that button. With all that being said though dudes, I'm Cynical, hopefully having a fantastic day, and we'll talk real soon.